Hey there, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here this week. If we haven't met yet, my name is Josh Pontius. I'm one of the pastors serving you here at Community of Grace Lutheran Church. And we've got a special message on deck for you this week. It's called Made for Times Like These. Here at Grace, we gather, we grow, and we go as we carry out the mission that we believe that we have been called to, inviting all people to follow Jesus on the bold, reckless adventure of grace. All people, all generations, every single person. We talked about it before, if you've been with us before. And here's the thing, though. I don't say this to be flippant because it does keep things nice and simple, but that mission statement, it could be for just about any church. Not all of them, but most of them could say something pretty similar. And our mission statement, inviting all generations to follow Jesus on the bold, reckless adventure of grace. There's something about that. It's awesome. It's a unique mission statement. So whether we're talking gather, grow, and go, or whether we're talking that inviting all generations bit, it's awesome. It's great. It's unique to us, but there are lots of other great mission statements out there. Lots of them with very similar foundations to what we have. It says a lot, but in some ways, it doesn't really say much at all because none of it really speaks to what makes Community of Grace different. What makes it special? What makes it unique? What makes it, at least in my personal evaluation, kind of critical and necessary here in our little corner of the world? But what is it? What is it about this place that means that we should care about it? Not just its existence, but for its success. Some of us out there, especially, you may not realize it, but what we have here at Grace truly is unique. It is special. There are lots of churches in the world, even in our areas, that have great modern-feeling music with the guitars, the lights, the cool fog machines, and the great graphics. Do they all have integration with things like musical theater? Do they all have choirs that are made up of all generations of people, everyone from a school-aged child to somebody in their retirement years and everyone in between? Do they all have a wide range of ages, backgrounds, denominational affiliations, or even gender expressions? A lot of those almost definitely no. In fact, most churches that do the kind of style of worship that we do around here, they'll still be pretty exclusionary when it comes to their platform or their stage, or often really in any kind of serving capacity, whether it's singing, playing an instrument, greeting folks at the door, leading a class or a Bible study, heck, even sometimes being included in the church's official membership. They're not quite as inclusive as they might seem. They might claim that everyone is welcome at the church. It may be on their website, it may be on their doors, but that welcome often stops at the door, or at the very least in the seats of the worship center. That's one of the things that makes Grace different. When we say that every single person is welcomed and accepted and celebrated for who they are, well, we mean it. And we want you to fully participate in every single aspect of our life together. We don't welcome you here to begin the process of trying to condemn you or tell you how awful you are. We don't welcome you in to force you to change. We don't welcome you while trying to convince you that you won't fully belong until you look like us or act like us or vote like us or behave in public and present yourself in the same way as us. No, we just want you here to be loved and to love others, to share your gifts, whatever they may be, to be the incredible person that God has made you to be. Every person here is not just welcomed, but allowed to live into the fullest expression of themselves as they love God and as they love their neighbors. Now, some of that stuff is also true to other churches in the area. There are plenty of churches, even in our area, that are super welcome to all people of backgrounds and a diversity of opinions. Churches that don't wait for you to sign on every single line on their theology statement before being allowed to participate on their ideology, their theology, their politics, their social understandings, yada, 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 yada. And they don't wait for you to do all of that to become a part of the church. Lots of incredible churches, even in our area, even in our neighborhood, they do that kind of thing. But, well, most of them, they feel different. They tend to be a little smaller, a little more traditional, a little more old-fashioned feeling. Lots of robes, chanting, and organ music. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. Don't hear me say that. But it's not for everyone. Often churches like that, they're small but mighty. They usually don't have lots of youth and young people around. There's more likely, if you're going to have special music, for it to be a jazz ensemble or a choir cantata or something like that, rather than something around here like a magical night of music featuring your favorite characters from the House of Mouse. They're not running multiple camps every summer so that kids of all kinds can come and be safe, to learn and to grow and to experience all the coolest things in the world. Things like getting better at sports, creating true, real art, to create a performance that would rival any for-profit theater company that is here in our town. Truly remarkable experiences. And speaking of having kids around, Grace is a pretty special place for that too. Not only do we have lots of kids around, but we invite them to fully participate as full-fledged members of our congregational life. They're welcome to come to the communion table, and they're just as welcome to help serve us communion with their parents, their grandparents, with their friends, with their family. They're here to help lead us in our worship alongside their families. And they're not sent away for some watered-down, kids-friendly experience where they stay quiet and allow us to do grown-up things. We celebrate with them as full members of the body of Christ, knowing that the more that we include them here in this space, the more likely that they'll continue their journey of faith as adults. For so many of the people that join us, it is this unique set of circumstances, these confluence of events and choices that we've made, the ideals that make Grace the place that it is. And it's truly unique in that series of connections, this unique combination that we have created here. And that's not even mentioning half of the opportunities that we have to gather, grow together, to serve together, our neighbors, to serve our world. It's so many cool things that make Grace unique. But it's hard to ignore that there are really unique combinations of theology, experience, and a culture that exist here, and they don't really exist anywhere else, at least not in our area. And those things, they matter. They matter for the people that gather here. It matters for the kids coming to camp and the kids who don't always have safe spaces to be themselves. It matters for our friends in the church in Rwanda who can't do the ministry that they're called to do without our support, without the people who gather here saying that stuff matters too. It also matters for the food banks that rely on us coming with a full carload of food for them each and every week. This stuff matters for the people who don't feel like they belong at other churches in our area. And it definitely matters for the people who are told they don't belong at the other churches in our area. Our community, our neighborhood, even our world, I believe truly, they need community of grace. And many of them, they don't even know it yet. We have got our work cut out for us. And now, we're not called to just to believe that, but to act like we do in new and in bold ways. There's no point in beating around the bush. We've got some challenging months ahead of us as a congregation. We have some of our biggest months of programming, lots of really cool stuff happening, while we're getting ready for some of our slowest months in giving and offerings and all of those kinds of things. Combined that with the fact is that a couple years ago, some of our biggest givers left us not long before I got here. That means that things have the potential to be a little bit tighter than we might be comfortable with. I don't say all of this out of fear, but out of excitement and ready for the opportunity. We've scored some pretty big wins for us that show us that we are going in the right direction as a congregation. We had just last fall 26 new members join us at the end of that last year. We're getting ready to start another new members class here in the next month or two so that more people can officially join up here. We've got more camps than ever and new kids from families we've never seen before signing up to be a part of it, reaching people in our community that have never heard of Community of Grace. Our most recent Easter service this past week had 1,127 people join us. That's more than 200 people more than last year, showing a greater than 20% increase in our attendance. We're doing all the right things, friends. I'll tell you this, as a staff, we've committed to keeping our costs low. We've done just about everything we can to trim from our budget, and we've gotten just about as far as we can get without showing up in the things that you experience and love the most. We're not in immediate danger. I don't want you to hear that. I don't want you to freak out. All the bills are being paid. All your staff is still here. But if we don't band together and do it pretty soon, things could quickly change in a not so good way. I'm not going to make any direct asks today beyond our regular offering time that we're going to do here in just a few moments. A lot of you out there will be hearing from me in email and in other messages over the next couple weeks to talk more about specific needs, some goals, some things that we're trying to accomplish to make sure that not only are we continuing to do the right things, but that we can do even more things so that we can say, this is what matters and here's what else we want to do. For today, I just want to leave you with this thought. I believe that community of grace matters, not just for us here, but for our community. It is truly a unique worshiping community that is here, and it is super rare, even throughout the world. There aren't many places like this. It is that unique confluence of welcome, of grace, of love for all people in this modern, fun, casual way that speaks to so many of us that caused me to say just 2.5 years ago, yes, this is the kind of community I want to be a part of. It is already here. It is already doing incredible things, and I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of its next chapter. Maybe just for times such as these. God is doing incredible, incredible things here, and we can all take part in that. But I want to invite you to ask yourself, do you truly believe that this place is special? Do you truly believe that God has called Grace to be something unique? Do you truly believe that there is no other church like it that you can find? If you say, yeah, I think that's what it is, then I invite you to pray to see what God calls you to. As the next couple of stewardship emails go out, as the giving statements from the last quarter hit your inboxes, as we put the QR codes up on the screens and websites for our offering time each week, ask yourself, do I truly believe that this place is making a difference? And how can I be a part of helping to make that difference? It won't look the same for all of us. Generosity looks different for all of us. We are all in different situations when it comes to our finances. Some of us are living in times of plenty, and a lot of us aren't, and that's okay. It's going to look different. But if we open our hearts, if we open our minds, if we truly pray to God, God, what is it you need from me? I promise you, you will find that it will have changed for you. It's changing for me. It's a time and a place where we can step up and say, this place matters, and I want to be a part of that in a new, big, and bold way. So let's be bold together, friends. Let's see where God takes us next. Amen.